right, on our journey east here, we are on Route 12, right on the Idaho-Montana border, at Lolo Pass, the visitor center here. Without going through all the history, this is a very significant place in terms of Lewis and Clark. They passed through this area, I think in 1805, heading westbound, and then on their return, heading eastbound, they couldn't get through with all the snow and ice, so they stayed with the Nez Perce Indians, is my understanding, for I think about a month or so. Got to know them really well. And then more significant, in addition to that, is that this is where the Nez Perce in 1877 were fleeing from the U.S. Army. They went through the Lolo Pass, which was their normal pass to the hunting grounds for the buffalo out in the Great Plains. So they came through this area too. So a couple of historic events here. I believe the U.S. Army followed them. At any rate, here's a little sign. You could pause the video if you want to read it, about the Nez Perce flight. So we are, where are we here on this? Well, wherever it is. Oh, Fort Fizzle, yes. So we're somewhere over here, I think. And we're going to be heading east ourselves after this. Okay, so here we are at Lolo Pass. Historic site, significant site in American history here. And here's a small tribute to Stephen Ambrose, famous author. And this is mentioning about how he brought the story of Lewis Clark to millions of Americans in his best-selling book, Undaunted Courage. And this was put up in 2003. It looks like 1 year after his death. Great historian, Stephen Ambrose. Wrote many other historical books. So here we are, Lolo Pass, in the Bitterroot Mountains. And here is Lolo Creek, east of Lolo Pass. Well, on our way to Glacier National Park, we stopped here in Saint Ignatius on Route 93, Montana. This is a church here, the Saint Ignatius Mission. Father DeSmet, a Jesuit, was in this area in 1840, came to Montana, and 4 separate tribes asked him to come here. He's very well liked by the Native Americans in this area, the Flathead Indians and others. And then later, 1854, according to the sign, this particular mission was founded. It was first a little log building, and then now we have this one. So Father DeSmet, a great missionary to the west and to the native Indians. Yeah, pretty awesome. This gives us a little info.
Here we go, inside the church. Saint Ignatius Mission.
It's a wow in there.
It's what?
Wow, when you go in there, believe me, it's amazing.
Saint Ignatius Mission Church. Very beautiful. pictures of the Mission Church. This is the first log cabin. Built in 1854, was the first home of the missionaries. Apparently there's a gift shop, but it's not opened. This house was built in 1864, was the first residence of the Providence Sisters. Let's go inside. Oh, we found a tourist.
You found the tourist. Oh, yes, tourist and the believer. Yep.
Sisters of Providence. Peace.
And we are sitting here at Flathead Lake at Finley Point State Park in Montana. We camped here for 2 nights. This is our second day. One more night here. Then we head over to Glacier National Park. Again, our first look at these beautiful colored rocks. And let's see what we find here. Ah, there she is. All right, so I decided to take a little boat tour on this kayak out here on Flathead Lake. There's a view up the lake. We're at the southern end of the lake. It extends, I don't know how many miles, but it looks pretty far north. And I'm right offshore here, just taking it easy on a beautiful day here in Montana at Finley Point State Park. And here you can see some campsites right on the lake, right at the lake shore. Cappy and I are camped up on the hill behind these trees. Can't see it from this view, but we have a beautiful site up there too, overlooking the lake. Beautiful place this time of year, mid-September. All right, so here we are on Flathead Lake, just floating along with our kayak. Beautiful day to be out here. And we just discovered somebody over here on the shoreline. Let's take a look at who that might be. Aha! It's Caterino. There she is.
There's Ron out there on the kayak on the Flathead River, Flathead Lake in Montana. Beautiful campground. Pretty calm waters. A little choppy, but he's handling it great.
I rode a little bit closer to these mountains. Glacier National Park is somewhere beyond that. Be heading there tomorrow. Oops. Okay, so we've been out here for a while now. Still a little bit of smoke haze out there, you might see. A little bit of haze, but nothing like we had. So I've been out here for a while, so I think I'm going to turn this vessel around and sail off into the sunset. Well, this is one of those days on our 3-month journey out west that Kathy and I had no agenda whatsoever. So a perfect day to sail out here on the lake on this kayak. Well, that was fun. I'm just gonna stay out a little longer and then we'll come in. All right, here's Kathy walking in the dark.
Here is our Halloween movie.
Yeah.
We're walking down to the lake in the dark.
What was the name of that movie they made like this?
Nobody is walking. Everyone's sleeping.
Blair Witch, right? Remember that?
Oh, Blair Witch.
Okay, so
Here
we're
we
going
go.
down the road. But...
Into the abyss.
All right, so there's Kathy. We've walked down to the lake. Point the light down. I can see you. Point it down. There she is. And look what we found here by the lake. If we just turn to our right. A couple of deer in the lights.
They're unfazed by the flashlight.
And that looks like it's going to conclude our little evening stroll.